All right, so we're at the beginning of this video. Kind of like introduce yourself so we know whose voice is
Okay.
talking, and then also kind of set up the year and how come this trip came about for us, and why at this time did you go on this trip. And I'm going to run the video a little bit while you're talking, and then pause it.
Okay. This is
I'm Paul.
and I'm Doris, her mom.
So what year was this that you took this trip?
1948.
And it was like October, November.
In the fall,
Right after New Year, Thanksgiving.
And this is cross country going back to Maryland.
Right.
Now you took Route 66, so you went down towards LA and then across.
And then cut off and
Went across. Right.
went just south of Bakersfield. We cut over
And you said you did this in how many days?
3 days.
3 days, so it was a real quick trip. Mom, did you drive at all?
No, not then.
No, I drove it.
I drove coming back because the car was flipped.
Oh, so you drove on all the way back.
She drove some.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
And you were just out of the Navy,
Correct.
and you went back on. How'd you get the money? And
Well, I got discharge money and money we'd tried to save. We had meager amount of money.
Where'd you get the car?
We bought the 1937 Hudson Terraplane Coupe in San Diego about 6 months before I got out.
And then you drove up to San Francisco.
Correct.
And then what was the thing with Bob at that point?
well, he got
That's her brother.
brother Bob. That's my oldest brother, and he got at the time they thought it was polio, and afterwards they said no, it was
Spinal meningitis.
spinal meningitis. Yeah, but when they thought it was polio, it took him in 3 days. He died that fast.
They hustled us out of there because they were going to quarantine the house, and we left a little sooner than we were normally going to do it, and that's
Right.
we wanted to go back and meet Dorie's folks because she had never seen them.
Your folks. Your
Okay.
folks, son. Anyway, so
Let me pause it here. This
my
next
folks.
scene. Let's not talk about this one yet. So we're now at that's White Sands, but let's just finish up though. So we were talking about gas. Was what you say that was?
About 10 cents a gallon.
About 10 cents a
And
gallon.
like I say, we were going back to meet she was going back to meet my folks.
Yeah.
Right.
But they knew her, right? Of her
By
through
letters.
by letters and talked to her over the phone just a couple times.
Oh, yeah. How long did it take to connect on a long distance phone call?
I don't know.
Well, they had,
didn't seem to be too bad.
Telephone operators then, and Dorie had a friend who was a professional telephone operator, and she used to railroad it through for us pretty quick. But it wasn't like today.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's continue on here. This is like you said. This was White Sands.
White Sands, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just snow white.
Were you just driving through and just stopped for a couple hours here? Or?
So we didn't stop. We just drove through. You know, that's why the picture looks so funny. I was taken from the inside of the car, moving.
We stopped very few times.
Yeah, at a few of the curio shops, you know.
Was there any particular reason why you wanted to get back so quickly? Why didn't you take 2 weeks? Versus
Didn't have the
'cause
money
he-
run.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't sure if he was going to live back there or not, or if he was going to get a job back there or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in fact, Mom thought that I was gone forever. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There must have been some
Yeah, it was.
parting. Yeah.
It was hard.
Why? You thought you might end up staying back there then?
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't care wherever he was going. I was going.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me pause it here again. So that was White Sands, but so at that point, May was married to Pop at that
Right.
point, and your father was living with them,
Right.
Johnny.
He had lived with him for quite a while.
Yeah, and did we say the year of this? Did we?
The trip?
We did. Yeah.
Trip was 1948.
What caused Johnny to be living with them is because he had been a drunk, and they took him in, and That's why he had his own room downstairs, and he ate with them. But it was a good relationship because there was just no relationship between him and Mom after she married Pop.
In fact, he worked
Except
for
the
Pop.
kids.
Yeah, see, Dad was crazy about all of us 3 kids, Bob, Jack, and myself. And so this one time they kept me away from him. They wouldn't let me go see him or anything. You know, and that used to just hurt me real bad, but that kind of stuff. So he come out of his room, and he said, May, he says, I'll never drink again. And he never did. That was it. He cut it off. Just like that. So...
All right, let's continue on with the trip here. So we're in Arizona now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see the Arizona sign in a minute here.
There you
There you go. Remember anything about Arizona that impressed you? Besides the dam, here's...
go. The dam.
So go ahead, Mom. What was this dam called?
This is Boulder Dam.
Uh-huh.
And it's now called Hoover Dam.
And this is a dam that you must have been through Vegas before you got here, right?
Correct.
Yeah. What was
Probably.
Vegas like in those
It
days?
was a very small town.
Yeah. Wasn't any big strip, you know, just had a little bit of downtown.
We overnighted on the outskirts of Vegas.
Yeah, we never did go right downtown.
Yes, we did. We were once raised straight.
So you actually camped out?
Yeah.
So,
And at that time, you could park on
Top there.
Boulder Dam and overlook Lake Mead and the surrounding territory, which we did.
was it impressive?
Yeah.
It was at the time.
Uh-huh. Well, it is one of the largest dams, isn't it?
We'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I think that's the power deal down below.
But once again, you just stopped here for a little bit, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
sightseeing a little bit, look
Yeah.
at it.
Wasn't like you spent the day there. or
No.
something.
Maybe, I don't know if we spent an hour, you know, just looked at it.
It's like Chevy Chase's vacation. This is Petrified Forest, if you can't read
Okay.
the
Correct.
sign there. And what are we looking at here? Is this
That's Grand
all
Canyon.
Is that all
Yeah.
petrified wood down there?
No, that's
Grand
Grand Canyon, and
Oh,
right next to the Petrified Forest, I think.
And this is one of the...
And these are the roadside vendors. A lot of them were Indian, and
this is still Petrified Forest. The vendors
Right.
yeah,
comes
that's
up
the
next,
petrified wood, which you'll find it being red, yellow, bluish, clear, and a very colorful wood.
Was it quartz?
And yes, it was all quartz,
Huh.
agate type thing, and it was all for sale.
And you're 2021 in this scene here.
I'm 21,
Yeah.
just 21.
And here's where you were talking about the vendors.
Yeah, right.
Right.
They were all alongside the road.
Did you buy anything from those guys?
No, we didn't spend much money, Ron.
Yeah, just get there. This sign says New Mexico on it.
Great.
Now, there was some place along the way that he bought me a canary, a bird. Remember?
Did it make it to...
Yeah,
Maryland?
I had it for quite a while.
Oh, really?
Sure. Now, along this trip here, I woke up one night and here was a comet going over
Now
here.
this is on the Allegheny Mountains, on what's called a 17-mile grade, coming down through West Virginia into Maryland.
So that was always confusion for me. There's some Maryland sign.
Yeah.
You're not from West Virginia, you're from Maryland?
I was born in West Virginia and raised in Maryland.
Ah,
The Potomac River is the division,
yeah.
and I wasn't ever half a mile away from it.
And it's a covered bridge here. You don't have to remember why you filmed the covered bridge, do you?
I don't know.
Well, it was local, and I used to take the girls up there at night.
A long bridge.
Yeah, it is.
And I had never seen one, you know.
Okay, now set us up here. I'm going to pause the film here. What are we looking at here?
This is overlooking Kaiser, West Virginia, from the
Maryland.
Queens Point in McCool, which in Maryland, which is you hike out of McCool up the mountain to get to Queens Point, which is a Civil War point. Also a good vista of the Kaiser and New Creek Valley and New Creek Junctions, Potomac River, which is lower than this picture shows.
Continue on here.
There's the Potomac River there.
All right, and then this is a snow scene here.
Right.
The snow
once you got there.
on
Yeah.
our old car.
Yeah. Did they do chains in those days on tires and things like
Absolutely.
that? And this is the house that you lived in. You told
Right,
me.
and there you can notice the lightning rods on the roof.
And you lived here from the time you were what? You
About
say?
15 years.
Yeah. And then they sold it after this, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are pine tree forest, which is alongside the road going from our house down to McCool.
And you guys had an orchard there also, didn't you?
Couple of small orchards.
Uh-huh. What kind of trees in the orchard?
We had apple trees and peach trees and cherry trees.
Your mom made pies, I assume, out
No,
of those.
but-
Oh yeah, and canned it.
She'd make about 10 pies at a time. And when
That's the house there with the lightning rods on the roof. It's 2 stories in an attic and a small cellar. Furnace in the cellar. There's my dad,
yeah.
myself.
Now, let me pause it here at the point. Talk about your eye. Did it? You know, I mean, you got a patch on your eye, and
Right.
and so you had something going on at that point.
Yeah,
Uveitis.
uveitis in my eye, and a lot of it was the strain. Started acting up in Nevada, I think, or somewhere along the route. I guess from driving so much. And anyway, they don't know what really caused it. But I started being very sensitive to light with that eye.
When did you find this out? The diagnosis out, was that before the trip or after the trip?
After.
During and after.
Oh, so did you go to the doctor then?
Back in Cumberland, Maryland, I went to the doctor and they didn't have anything clear on it. So when I come back to California, I went to Mount Zion Hospital Clinic. And then they removed my tonsils. And they said it was a systemic problem. And for a couple of years I was battling. I ended up with glasses. My eye cleared up somewhat. But then
He still has scar tissue in his
it
eyes.
acted up again, and I have a permanent scar across the center of my vision, so that when I use that right eye, I only have peripheral vision.
Huh. And I remember you used to talk about it affect your hunting. In fact, you used to
Had to revert to shooting left-handed.
yeah, left-handed.
But that's a few years later, around 1952.
Let me continue on here. I want to pause it here right on your mom and talk about this a little bit. You mentioned to me about that you normally had a pump in the house, a hand pump.
It was a pitcher pump,
Uh-huh.
and it pumped water out of a cistern. And my dad and the neighbor, Mr. Creasy, and the boys built a concrete cistern, 2-sided with a pit in between the two divisions, and that pit was filled with charcoal. The water from the roof of the house went into the one side of the cistern, and we pumped out the other side after it came through the charcoal. And the cistern was big enough that we could use that water year-round through the house. But we just had the one pitcher pump.
So
Our well was around 75 feet deep, and usually a lot of the time the pump or the piping or something was fouled up on it, or we run out of water, So between the two of them, we had water year round.
How many bathrooms did you have in that house? I mean, you had
We
how
didn't
many?
have any bathrooms in the house.
Really, you had an outhouse?
None.
I had one.
We had an outhouse, and then we had what was called the wash house alongside the well. In the wash house, you had to pump the water out of the well and put it in the bathtub and wait till it got warm. We also pumped or hand drew the water out of the well with a bucket, and we heated it up on the stove and put it in wash tubs for washing.
Did you wash in the house or out in the washroom?
Out on the porch.
Really?
And the first washer I remember was gas driven. Had a little step-on starter for the gasoline motor. I think it was around a 1 or 1.25, 1.5 horse gasoline motor, and you put a quart of gasoline in the tank and threw a little lever and stepped on the starter a couple of times. It would start putting, and that would make the agitator work. And then also the ringer on it was hand driven. You used a hand ringer. On. They had what was called double wash tubs. They got double wash tubs on a roll around thing, and they put that next to the wash tub. And it said I had a ringer on that, so that you dump the water from the dump the clothes from a washing machine into one tub, and you ringed it into that tub, and then you ringed it from that tub into the next tub, then you ringed it out and hung them up on the line.
And then I remember you saying in the winter the clothes would freeze.
Froze stiff as a board.
It's stiff.
You could cut your hands on it if you didn't watch.
Wow.
And
Paul.
Go ahead, Mom. You want to say something?
Right.
Go.
By the time we went back there, though, they had a toilet in the house.
well, that was after it was.
They had
Now
a
when he was
bathroom.
growing up in it, yeah.
Right. But they had when we went back there, they had a bathroom in the house. Remember, it was upstairs someplace.
So,
I'm sure it was upstairs.
you know, I mean, I guess you guys didn't have a problem with running out of hot water in the house because
Excuse me, just
didn't have any hot water.
no. We had to heat all our water.
Yeah. Yeah, take a bath or
Right.
that kind of thing.
I don't remember a bathroom in our house.
Yeah, it was there.
Okay, so anyway, when you were living there, you know, before you left home, how many people were in the house at that time? Now you said living and dying, you had 16 brothers and sisters.
It was usually around 6 to 8.
Mom must have been cooking a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had gas.
So let's move on here.
I don't see anything in there.
That's my mother there. She was
Martha Pauline.
she was a real slave to the family.
And I imagine, yeah, the stove there.
Yeah.
Her name was
Her and
Martha Pauline.
I had a lot of close conversations.
Okay.
Let me pause it right here, where we're looking at the shot of some of the family left to right. So let's go left to right. Who's all the way on the?
Do you want to say it? Do you want me to say it?
Go
On
ahead.
the left, that must be Sharon.
No, that's David.
Yeah, it's not a.
These are all the boys, Paul.
David, Alan,
Yeah,
Ronnie, Bob, me, Dad.
yeah. And then Ronnie would end up later in life committing suicide. So
Right.
That's true. He did
Yeah.
that in Newburgh, Oregon.
yeah. So
Very sad.
and your dad looks like he's in his railroad outfit there.
Yes.
Always.
Is that what he wore all the time?
Most of the time he wore something you could tell he was a railroader.
Huh.
He has a hat on. You can't see it.
Who were your closest of the brothers there? Who you had the best relationship with?
None of them really.
Not really close because they were quite a bit younger
Uh-huh.
than me, and I was occupied before I
Chasing
went into the
girls.
Navy with playing basketball and then going to work and doing different things. So
Well, the next person oldest, wouldn't that be Alan? Was Alan the oldest next?
No.
no,
And that, in that picture.
It kind
That
of
was
went down
Bob.
just like,
What's that?
that was Bob next to me.
Oh, okay.
and they called him Sonny.
Sonny.
His whole life.
Is he the
Sonny.
closest to you in age? Or?
He's the closest in age to him, yeah.
He was the
And these
closest
were
boy
all your
in age.
mother's kids, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So your dad was married twice, and that was
His second
his
wife.
the second wife.
Right.
Her name was
kids.
Maddie.
Yeah.
Short
Martha
for
Pauline was her
Martha
name.
Pauline.
All right, so let's move along here. Oh, he's got the stick in his hand. All those
There's
stories
David.
about.
And Alan, the Ronnie Jean character. And that was Sonny. Sonny looks like you. And then Dad, Paul.
Now, see, what I remember, I want to pause it here at this little thrashing scene here. What I remember stories-wise is that, your mom would make up a list of infractions, so to speak, that you guys did when
Didn't
your dad
make a
was out of
list.
town. Yeah.
Didn't make a list, just told Dad.
Oh, he just tell him.
Yeah.
And then he would come home and kind of settle up the debt, huh?
Yeah, she'd say, wait till Dad gets home.
I never said it.
But you would take off, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you take off for a couple
I'd
days.
disappear.
He had a schedule. What was that schedule on the railroad?
Well, in for 8 and out for 16 to 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was in trouble, I usually would make it a point to be away or busy or make sure he was sleeping or something before I
Yeah.
appeared.
Yeah. So let me continue on here from this scene.
This kind of horseplay type thing for the
Yeah.
camera.
There's a camera. Yeah.
And whenever you go to take a picture of him, he always went like this with his hands.
There's a nice
That's my
picture of
mother.
them together.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
That was him rubbing his beard against her face.
Oh, and then her saying, "Take your hat off." Yeah.
Yeah, right there is what she said.
And that's a railroad cap they usually wore.
So who's the woman in the middle there?
That was
Lois.
Lois.
Okay.
It's me and Lois and
That's hugging and chalking.
There's with your dad. I mean your mom. Yeah, it's a great shot.
that's,
And there's you and mom together. Yeah.
that's a nice shot too.
And that's Sharon. That he's.
Yeah, the youngest.
Holding
Chalk,
Sharon.
There's Lois.
That's
Oh.
Lois.
The other Violet was working in Washington at the time. And Sonny, I don't know where.
Was she
Sonny was.
Washington or Chicago?
Washington, I think.
Okay, now here's you leaving.
Right. As we were in the car, we were leaving. I had Dad stop there so I could take a picture of them.
I stopped at the front gate on the road. I drove from the left side of the house down.
Let me pause it right there. We'll get into the rest of the trip in a second here. So at some point you must have realized you weren't going to live there.
Yeah, Dad told me. She was standing at the sink, and Dad, I was way back, and Dad was talking to his mother. He said, "Well, Mom," he says, "I'm not going to settle around here. There's nothing here for me." And so she kind of cried, and she said, well, she knew that he wouldn't stay around there, but she didn't really realize he was going to go that far away to California, because he had already made up his mind he was going to come back to California. He liked it here. And
Yeah, that was during the trip though.
Yeah, her and I had always been very close.
Yeah.
that was on our trip back to and come back.
So when did you decide?
Well, I just seeing the situation.
He went over to McCool.
And Dorie was very homesick because of the death of her brother. So
Oh, so Bob had died at that point.
Oh, yeah.
that occasion just started doing a trip earlier
Yeah, right.
than we'd planned.
Yeah, but he hadn't died at that point. Right?
Yes, he
Yes, he had.
Oh, he had before you left
It
on
took
the
him
trip.
3
Yes.
days.
Oh,
That's why they were going to quarantine the house. So they just hustled us the hell out of there.
yeah. So you had been. How long were you back there on this trip? I mean,
Kind of was, because we spent Christmas back there. Remember?
6 weeks, maybe 2 months.
Maybe. It could have been.
No, 6 weeks to 2 months. We were
so
there.
quick drive back and then hang around the old town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you,
Show her all
We
the
had
different
Christmas back
Yeah.
there. We had spent Christmas back there.
yeah.
And we came back out. So,
So you got a good chance to meet his mother at that
Oh,
point.
yeah, yeah.
Know her pretty well.
oh yeah.
You guys stayed at the house, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
In your old room or something, I think it was. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
in my old room up front, it was a small room about 7 feet wide. And,
No, I think they gave us the big room upstairs.
yeah, they gave us the big room.
because
You're right.
we were coming there, you know.
My old room was about 7 feet wide and 10 feet long.
So did they have a shower in the house by then? I mean, you say you don't remember it, but
I remember the toilet. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Maybe they had the kitchen remodeled and added on. So maybe they put a shower above it, but I don't remember it.
yeah. Okay, so let me continue on. This is Washington D.C.
Right.
So this was on your way back?
No.
No, this is the trip I took with you and Randy.
Okay, so this is. Let me just make that comment then. This is out of sequence because that was 1961.
Right.
We took this trip back to for a reunion.
For the big
This
reunion.
is
Yeah,
that
big
picture.
Kesecker reunion.
Yeah.
So this actually is
You
out
were
of
there.
sequence in the.
You were there.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I know. So this is out of sequence on the tape. So I'm just telling people
Right.
that this is not part of the trip back to Maryland that you took. So
This is a trip that I drove back with you and Randy.
yeah, and we got to go up in the Washington Monument. I was talking to Casey about
Yes, you
this,
did.
Oh, yeah.
and you can't do that anymore. Now
You can't
this
go
is-
up there anymore?
Yeah, scene change here. This is Santa Cruz, California.
Big Basin State Park.
Big Basin State
Pioneer,
Park.
Which is the
Pioneer
oldest state
cabin
park.
at Big Basin State Park.
Okay, let's continue on here. I just wanted to set that up. That's Sandy,
Sandy.
right?
That's Sandy.
Our
with
brother
the-
Jack's girl.
Yeah, right. And she's probably what in that
I,
picture? So what
About
year would
3, I
this
think.
be? This would be probably 48, 50, 48, 49. Right
could be.
around
I
there.
don't really remember. Ron.
That's a log across the creek.
There's Jack,
That's
Yeah.
the guy.
your brother.
Brother Jack. And here's Dad.
Now what's this here?
This is the swimming pool at Big Basin, which later on they took out.
And that's Sandy with
That's
you.
Sandy.
Yeah. And that's Jack's oldest daughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oldest child, period.
Oldest child, yeah, right.
And the one she's rubbing the head, that's Jacqueline.
Oh.
And here's all the deer.
Let me pause this. Now we're looking at the deer that used to be in Big Basin.
Right, and the ranger would call him down right around 5 o'clock, I think it was 4 o'clock, something like that. And he'd say, "Here, babe," and all these deer would come down, bucks and everything, come running down. And those things where they're at there, that's a trough where they put grain in.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you could feed them out of your hand.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know,
Had
people,
those logs laying around people could sit on.
yeah, yeah. And then they had sing-alongs at night.
Oh yeah, open air theater. That was neat. I could go there and pick out our initials we carved in there.
Yeah, it was a great place. I remember that as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those people are not related to you, are they?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. This must be Big Basin still. It's awful
Yeah.
dark shot. That looks like Jack there.
That striped white shirt
Somebody-
was mine.
Yeah, and that's got to be
We
you
took
with
Mom
a.
and Dad Kesecker.
That must have been
out there.
at one of the camping tables.
In fact, I think we took them there twice.
It looks like a mafia car.
I know.
Okay, this is where.
Skyline Boulevard.
Yeah.
Going from
Before you
San
get down
Francisco
into
over
Big
to-
Basin.
Right.
Along Skyline Highway.
And it always had that fog like that most of the
Just
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
No. Very often, though.
Yeah.
And I've seen it in a couple of pictures too. To tell you the truth, movies. You know.
I remember it was a twisty road and you could get
Oh,
sick
yeah.
pretty easy. What's this? This is the rodeo. And you were,
I believe this is the rodeo that we took. Remember, I stopped. I think it was Casper, Wyoming.
okay, so this once again is 1961 on the trip back to.
That for
The
you
reunion.
and Randy.
Okay.
I drove back with you and Randy. Remember, they fed you and everything. It was pretty reasonable. Nowadays, the cowboys rope those things in seconds, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they actually have schools for it now.
Yeah.
They lift weights and things like that. Yeah, it's changed a lot. There's an awful lot of footage for something that doesn't relate to the family.
Well, it was a trip.
I haven't seen Randy and I in any of these shots yet. But I once again want to mention this is actually out of sequence because we will actually jump back
Right.
again in time.
Right. Well, what happened, Ron, is I took all the old films that I had, not in order, not that, and I took them to this one place, the studio, and just had them.
But when I edited this, I did not know where some of these things occurred when I did the editing. Otherwise, I would have put this.
Well, you know, we're
in the
just
right
tickled to death to see them, period.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. So maybe Randy's in the background there.
I don't know. I don't think so.
10 minutes of some strangers here. All right, so
Probably going up to San Diego,
this
the Mission San Diego.
yeah, this is another. Look at the roads. How much different the roads are now.
You bet.
And then every time you came to a town, all the stoplights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know. So things have certainly changed. I can remember going to Tahoe used to be that way, like two lanes, and always hearing about people sliding off the road in the winter. And
yeah.
Do you happen to know what we're looking at now? Okay. It's still California. It looks like we're getting Southern California. Closer to Southern California.
We haven't gone up Mission San Diego yet, so we're probably still going there.
Yeah. All right.
Now here's the Pacific Motel, where we've stayed there about 3 times. When Mom and Ellie and I went down to be with Paul, where he was in the Navy.
So this is 1948, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mom was taking those. And Mom and Ellie took me down to see Dad before he went.
There's your mother there too.
Yeah. That's my mother. That's my mother and me. I guess I resemble her some. And then Dad was going to go out overseas for 9 months.
So that was before he shipped out.
Yeah.
Who's in this?
That's Irene and me down in San Diego at the Mission Beach.
Looks like that was a good time. I mean, that kind of weather and that kind of beach.
Oh, San Diego has the greatest weather around.
Yeah.
So nice. And that beach there was just perfect. You had the bay side you could really swim on if you wanted to. That was Irene and her husband swimming there.
So did you go swimming often when you were down?
Yeah.
Huh?
Quite a bit.
Just go out and hang out at the beach?
Well, it was free, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you could go out there and have a day
Bill.
at the beach, and then get yourself a couple of hot dogs or a hamburger and a Coke, or go home and have the same thing.
This was the ocean side. But then they had this underpass, like you could walk over to the bay side.
There's actually one shot of it here. It's a real quick shot coming up.
Yeah, I think
you're
there
going to
was.
see that. Yeah.
But I always like to swim in the bay side because I could take that long swim there, you know. That's Irene, that's not me. There I am. Geez, I had a nice stroke.
Yeah, I remember you used to like to do, long swimming.
Yeah, I did.
Versus, just a quick laps or something like that.
Like I said, I used to swim over to the island, and then from the island I they had a peninsula way over the side. Here's Dad. But he never did swim all the way out to the island.
That's you there?
I'm not sure.
It's kind of hard sometimes with the bathing caps on.
There she said, I never did swim out the island. I'm coming back from it.
Yeah, you did.
Now this area dumped into the ocean?
There you can see the island.
Yeah.
There's that, and then but the peninsula. I think there's one small shot way over to the right.
With Dad there. Yeah. There's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
That goes
That's
over
Miller.
to the ocean side.
That was Miller, Dorie.
Yeah, I knew it was one of your buddies.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Who's this here?
Billy.
Miller?
He was a nice guy.
They're from Texas.
One of your shipmates?
Yeah, Bill,
Yeah,
him and I
yeah.
was pretty good buddies.
You want to do that kind of stuff in Oregon, you'd have to put on a lot of clothes and go out and freeze on the
Yeah, you
coast.
bet.
Yeah.
You not get away. Gotta be doing this, I'll tell you.
Youngins just playing around.
So once again, you were probably, Dad, you were a little bit younger than here. Maybe you were 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, right around 20 in these.
Yeah, he was 20 years old when we got
And that
married.
would put you at what, 18, Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, you could see kind of. It was further back, yet where I used to swim to.
Do you know what that one big thing on the right-hand side is? It's
No,
out of the
I don't
frame
know.
right now.
Probably
but-
power line tower.
And this is,
The beach there, on the
That's
ocean
the
side.
playland down
Playland.
there.
did you ever go on that roller coaster?
I don't know. I don't remember.
And this was just,
A paint store that burnt down. This paint store was, I think, about 2 blocks
The
away from where we
surplus
lived.
store.
And it was a huge blaze.
Was a
looks like it looks like it was a huge fire.
It was a surplus store
Yeah.
And the paint store was down there
with
too.
rooms above.
Yeah. It really looked like it caught
It
on
did. It was
fire,
really,
you know, probably
really
with all
going.
the paints and everything. And who are these people?
That's Irene and
That's
Bill.
Bill and Irene.
Remember I used to do that with you kids?
Yes, I do, actually, yeah. This isn't where you learned it, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
And this is just a football game down in San
Yeah,
Diego?
it was
took
a
me
local
to my
football
first
game.
football game.
We went to it. It was very disappointing.
Was this who was
Service
playing?
game.
Service game? Huh. Well, they marched pretty nice.
No, the band was better than the ball players.
What's the black section there in the stands?
That's for niggers. No, I'm kidding. Oh, you TV this. Oh, you can always cut it out.
Probably servicemen.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be servicemen. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. There you go, the touchdown of the game.
That's the old terraplane.
This is still San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is in front of where we lived.
That
we lived
thing
up
would shine
over-
like a black diamond.
Well, actually, didn't you tell me you
Yeah.
shined it? There's
hand polished it.
hand polished it. There's another scene coming up here where you told me that. Yeah. Who's that lady getting out?
That's Irene again.
Now here's this tower. You've
And
got
I worked at Jessup's. It was a jewelry store, and they just had silverware and things like that. And this has
That was
all
out
the
on the
countries,
sidewalk.
different, all different countries.
oh, on each face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Jessup's.
Did you get a discount?
No, I never bought anything. It's too damn expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It was
It looks like an expensive place. It looks like this guy's going to hit the thing.
I know. It was an expensive place. If I would have worked there longer, she wanted to break me in as rearranging the window displays because I cleaned them up so nice and everything.
They liked Dorie.
Yeah.
She had no trouble getting work there.
And I think this is where you told me one
Polish
time
the
where
car?
you polished that car.
Hand polished it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used liquid wax.
It was a liquid something.
Glass wax it was called.
Oh, well, that's still a brand around, isn't it?
Yeah. This
what-
was
what
specially
about-
made for jewelry.
That's the upstairs
That was
room
it,
we
yeah.
had.
We had that room over the
Was that 13th Street?
48th.
Is this the one with the really thin walls where everybody can hear
No,
each other?
no.
No, you had to go upstairs on the inside to get there. And the other people lived in the downstairs in
below.
other rooms.
And we lived there twice. Remember?
Right.
We lived there first before we had that outside bathroom, and we used to have to go downstairs to go to the bathroom. But then afterwards, they built that bathroom. You saw a little house like on the side? They built that there, and that was the bathroom. That was really nice.
It said 408 was one of the numbers.
408, 41st Avenue.
Let's see.
41st Avenue.
Okay, this looks like a scene change here. Tijuana, yeah.
Tijuana.
Do you go down there very often? I mean, it's pretty close to San Diego.
Pretty often, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4 times. I don't know.
Half an hour ride.
A good day's cheap entertainment, huh? Yeah, I mean, probably the food was pretty inexpensive.
Oh, yeah. You see the little things go by, they were selling. Those tacos were really good, too. They
The
used to
street
serve
vendors
them.
had great tacos.
Yeah.
Looks like it was foggy there. I mean, it's the exposure. I'm just
Now,
kidding.
this is the houses that the Mexicans lived in, and I try to get a picture of, like, the dirt roads. You go one road past the main street, and it was all dirt, gravel. Very, very dirty.
Okay, so
That's
let me
me.
pause it here.
Right.
Let me pause it right here on this thing with you.
Okay, that's me, then Mom, and then my dad.
Yeah.
And
Now,
Tijuana.
was your dad shorter than your mom?
No, she's up on the
Yes,
stairs.
he is.
He wasn't shorter than Mom.
Well, he was a little bit shorter, wasn't he?
No.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
She must be standing on a porch or something then.
She is. Her and I both are standing up on a porch.
But this was after she was married to Pop at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So like I say,
She married him probably when I was 2 years old, something like that.
And he didn't have any problem with Johnny being around?
No. In fact, he's the one who mentioned it to her.
so they say.
Well, it's a better story that way. Okay, there's Artie.
Whoops,
That
speak
was
of my
Artie.
brother Art.
Yeah.
Got a glimpse of Artie.
There's
And
one of the
there's
vendors.
one of the vendors, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you buy from them very often?
Yeah. And then they have another vendor go by that had fresh fruit opened up so you could take a piece of pineapple or something, you know?
You guys never got like Montezuma's Curse or anything
No,
like that?
no.
No, you didn't drink their water.
That's what they told me, don't drink the water.
You didn't drink their water.
Now, this must be the main street.
It
right,
is.
Mom?
That's the main street.
Yeah. There's
my
your dad.
brother dad. My dad, yeah.
Did he clown around much?
Oh, a little bit like that. Not
Yeah.
too much, no. There's Paul.
This is still the same place?
Tijuana, yes.
Yeah.
Tijuana. There's Artie way off to the left. You can't hardly see him. It's so dark. My dad always wore a hat. The men in those days did. They wore those kind of hats.
Is that his hat?
Yeah.
I mean, he just didn't buy it
No.
on the trip. What's with the donkeys with all the stripes on them?
David had those where you could take your picture on them, right? Well, the Mexican wasn't around, so Dad had Artie get up on that one and take his picture. And the Mexican guy coming walking over, and that's why you see me
Well, you
turning
really give
around,
him a
getting out
bad
of there.
time. Who give him a couple?
Dad did.
He give him a quarter or something. Give him some change.
Yeah.
All right, here's a scene change. This is where you guys are fishing. And that's your brother Bob,
That's my brother Bob, my oldest brother Bob.
which once again, this must be out of sequence time-wise because earlier in the film, yeah.
This was before I was married.
It's out at Rings Point.
And there's Artie throwing rocks, and Jack's sitting up on the hill there. And the other boy, I don't know who it is. To
That next to the fishing pole.
Right, and that's me. My brother Bob said, "Come on, strike a pose." You know.
Those are fishing boats out there.
Well, your brother Jack was a jokester. That's,
Yeah, no, that was Bob who said do that.
Oh.
But I never went around water that I didn't take a bathing suit. I'll tell you.
And that's the, was that Artie's friend?
Yeah.
Now, how old were you here, Mom?
Oh, 18, I guess.
18, was this before you met Dad?
No.
You had already met him.
Yeah, I knew him. I was working at the time.
Where were you?
Yeah,
working?
because it was taken with my camera.
Oh, that was your camera.
Yeah.
It was our camera. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We bought it down San Diego, yeah.
Huh.
So this was after we were married.
Right, this is after we were married. So maybe I was 19, I'm not sure. There's
Yeah.
Bob.
Just approximate.
He kept saying, Jesus, Todd, it's so hot. I said, well, go swimming. Well, I didn't bring any things, sis. So I said, well, here, wear mine. So I gave him my bottom part of my bathing suit. And he went over behind some bushes and
There's the three boys, right?
yeah, my brother Bob, Jack, and Artie.
And Jack's wearing his
Municipal hat.
yeah,
bus outfit.
He was a bus driver, and
Right,
Right, Muni
that was
bus
his
driver.
outfit.
See, yeah. There's Bob
Bob.
wearing my bathing suit.
Bob liked to joke around too, like Jack
Yeah, he
did.
But did he? I obviously never met him, but I remember Jack used
Yeah,
to
he-
joke
This is
around
a-
a lot.
Old-fashioned side stroke. My
He used to
brother
like
Bob
to
used to
joke
swim, and so did my Uncle Keith, Joyce's father.
He was a welder at Hunter's Point when I was there with the ship.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's what they call an X-ray welder. He was
Do submarines.
one of the elite guys.
Oh, that was a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He liked the
Yeah.
graveyard shift.
Huh.
There's Dorie in her towel.
Because he had my bathing suit.
So were you filming most of this, Dad? Or,
What?
I don't
Did
know
you-
who filmed it. Maybe Jack. Maybe Bob.
the day's
No,
catch
could be wrong.
here?
Yeah. Yeah. That's perch and pogey.
Smell.
Well, you take that home and cook it up?
I don't know if we do
No.
or not.
All
Probably
right, let me
It has
pause
smelt
it
too.
here. Yeah.
They caught a lot of smelt, which is a small fish,
Uh-huh.
and they usually had worms in them, so they didn't eat them.
But these poles that they're using look like deep sea poles of some
They're
kind. I mean,
salt- Water
Surf
poles.
they called them, and they were bamboo
uh-huh.
saltwater
with
poles. I
about a
still have
2 foot
mine.
with about a 2 foot handle that had the reel on it, and then you inserted the other pole.
Now this is
It was a
Artie.
cast-
Wait, don't get ahead of us
It
here.
was a casting pole you used in the surf
Uh-huh.
or from land.
Did your mom like fish? I mean, when you brought it home?
My mother?
Yeah.
No, she never.
They never
you mean
brought
to
that-
eat? No,
Yeah.
my dad used to do the cleaning and all that stuff. Things.
They never brought home that much fish.
No, we never had that much business.
Really?
They spent more on bait than they did on fish.
Did you ever go out to the ocean and
No, I
fish
never
there?
got a
Not at
chance.
that time.
Ocean Beach or any of that?
No.
We fished off of not China Camp, Baker's Beach and China Beach.
Huh.
A couple times I fished there with my brothers.
Were the Sea Scout boats where you could fish off aquatic
The pier.
pier?
Oh, yeah.
But they never did.
Well, let's continue on here. This scene right here is, why don't you tell us who's in that, Mom?
Okay, that's Artie off to the left, my brother Bob, and my dad.
Okay, so once again, this has to be pre-1948. Because your brother Bob's still alive.
Yes.
So this has
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah,
early, probably same time period, 47, 48, right around there.
yeah, I don't.
All right, let me continue on here. And you were telling me that this is the,
Oh, the railroad, streetcar tracks behind them
yeah,
on California Street.
And that's out in front of their house on California. Street 6032 California.
Now this is Little Roy.
let me stop it here. So, yeah, this is Little Roy,
Little
who
Roy
was,
is my brother Bob's youngest son. He had 2 boys.
That's the
His
dog.
name is Roy.
did he, was there anything, Roy lived to be old or?
Little Roy.
All right, so, and this is your mother here.
My mother coming up the steps at her house, 6032 California Street.
And you notice how we're looking at the dogs now, but let me pause it here. This was Pop.
Yeah,
This was your stepfather,
yeah,
right.
he's my stepfather. And Artie's way off to the left there.
and that would be Artie's father.
Yeah.
And but there's a story I wanted to get on here about your mother's hair, and why she had it up that way.
That's the way she liked to wear it.
The story I was told was that when your brother Jack went off to war, he said, "Mama, keep your hair that way,
Oh,
so that when I come back, don't change your hair while I'm gone."
yeah, I
Yes,
guess it was
yes,
something like that. I don't remember, but could have very well been it.
I never heard that.
Yeah, but I do remember when she cut it. Years later, I remember her,
That's what she
always in the bathroom, penning
Yeah.
her hair up first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So her and Pop, do you remember when, we're still looking at the picture of
Right.
Frozen.
California Street, yeah.
Do you know how old they were when they got married?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
you could look at that cookbook and figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, with all the dates and everything.
Well, Pop's first wife was invalided.
I told him that story.
Mom was taking care of the house. And then
And
after her mother died, and I don't know any periods of time, but then Mom and Pop started going together, and they went to Mexico and got married.
I noticed that when I was looking in the the dates and everything, that they were married in Tijuana.
And that jade necklace that I'm going to give to Ty is his first wife gave it to Mom.
Huh.
And she used to be quite wealthy, from what I understand.
Huh. Well, was he fairly successful man in his day?
Yeah, he used to.
He was a contractor.
But no, and earlier he ran liquor.
What?
He ran liquor.
I mean, bootlegger?
Yeah.
Really?
He had this car that had all these secret places. What was it? A Dodge?
I don't know, Dorie.
Square Dodge. I don't know if there's pictures of it or not. Anyway, and
He got into a little bit of everything.
there's places there that they could hide. So you'd go there and get it and bring it back.
Where was he getting it from? Do you know?
Tijuana, someplace.
Oh, really? And bringing it back into
Mexico.
the States?
Yeah.
Huh?
Tijuana, and there was some other place too.
Did he work on the Golden Gate Bridge?
Yeah, he was a foreman.
The runway up to the bridge. The part,
Ramps.
the ramp up to
Oh,
the
really?
bridge. Yeah.
He was foreman on the ramps to Golden Gate Bridge.
Wow. All right, let's move on here. We're sort of looking at still picture of Pop
Pop,
here.
author.
And there
brother-
they are getting it, you and your mom. I mean, your mother and
And this
Pop.
is a
And
good
that's
old truck.
That's an old Ford truck, which they converted from a grocery truck. But had a covered back, and they carried the groceries and had produce on the back, produce truck.
Let me stop before we do a scene change here, and that was California Street.
Where,
Yeah.
where they were.
Now,
Now this is Jack
Her
Mulcahy
cousin,
and Joyce,
Jack.
her husband.
oh, really?
Husband and wife.
That's Joyce there.
Yeah.
That's Joyce.
Huh. This looks like it's actually back where, back at
McNear's Beach.
McNear's Beach, yeah. And who's in this picture here, do you know?
Yeah, that's Sis and Bobby. Now here's my brother Jack. And there's Artie.
Artie would throw his fishing line out, and he'd throw rocks and run off and not pay much attention to fishing.
That's B on the left.
Yeah, my Aunt B.
And
Then Mom, and then
Mom.
Ellie on the right. Ellie was
yeah.
Bob's
Ellie was Bob's
wife.
wife.
and
Here
it
comes
looks
my
like your
brother.
dad.
My brother Dad. my father Dad.
Yeah.
And then George Williams, which was my brother Jack's boyfriend for years.
George was saying they're
There's
still
me
out there.
fishing. And Ellie.
That's Ellie.
There's Mom, Dad, and George Williams. Aunt
And
B.
B, yeah.
And Artie.
Now, this is something that transcends time thrown. Now, someplace here,
In here
on the
is-
right-hand side is Grandma Morris.
Just a fast picture over there.
Here, right there.
There she is.
Okay, I've paused it here. And there she is. Was her hip bad at
Oh,
that
yeah.
point?
What happened is she lived in Woodacre, and she fell and broke her hips, and nobody knew it. The mom didn't know for 4 days. She laid there outside, and nobody knew.
Nobody knew. Wow.
No, and one of the neighbors, I guess, or something, because there wasn't that many neighbors. It was far apart.
Wow.
And that looks like a little bee back there.
With her hand on the hip.
Yeah,
And then who would that be below her?
that's my brother Jack's wife.
No,
There's
the
little
kid.
Roy. Yeah.
Yeah, little Roy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move
Off to
on.
the left, it's another kid, but I don't know who it was. There's Bob. There's little Roy. He's my godchild.
Oh, yeah? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Do you have any other godchildren?
Yeah, who knows?
Now, who's that?
Here's Jack's kids. That's Bobby, his oldest son. That's Bob and little Roy.
That's
That's
Bob
my-
and Ellie's
My brother Bob's children.
sons. He sure was a cute little kid.
Yeah, smart too.
Whatever happened to him? Do you know?
Ended up in jail, and no, he got married, and she stuck with him. Here's Mission San Diego. He's on something that he has no actual sentence. He got to be a kleptomaniac. Was that people who steal?
Yeah.
That's what he started doing. Rory, the guy she married, he used to beat him.
Last I knew, he was in jail.
Are you? Wait a minute. Ellie married Roy later.
Yeah, after Bob died. And
She married Roy Arnell after Bob died.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
Bob died, and he was the one who beat the kids.
yeah,
Yeah, I stayed with him a while. He's kind of a mean guy. He liked to drink too,
yeah.
Yep.
but he was.
That's right. she
Never
did say
understood that relationship.
Yeah, he wasn't a guy you could get close to. All right, so we've moved on to this is
Mission San Diego
San
again.
Diego.
Yeah.
Is that it in the distance? That
Yeah.
whole thing?
Yeah,
That's pretty big.
it was big.
Yeah.
And this is
It
the
was
trip going
it
up
was
to-
a way station. You know, they had the different missions that
Yeah.
was a day apart. All the missions that
Oh
he
yeah, a
was
walk, a
Right.
day's walk.
days walk apart through all of California.
It's amazing as stuff is stood up in earthquakes and
Yeah.
things like that. You know, I mean that's Southern California. So whose car? That was whose car?
again you're reverting back to Jackie's car.
That or it could have been some of the people who will stop by there and look. I mean,
Yeah.
sightseers.
But there's a scene coming up here with Artie standing on the
running board, yeah.
that car. Well, everything looks so sunny. You know, I mean, that's just, living in Washington, man, everything looks sunny. We get that for 5 minutes
Yeah.
now, and then it's a overcast day. It's amazing to me that okay, so here we got a shot of your mother
And Paul and Artie and my dad.
Yeah.
Here's Paul.
Okay, so here's the car. Now, whose car was this again?
Jackie's and Breeze.
Yeah.
There's Artie. And my dad's inside there, I think. I'm not sure.
So would they borrow that car and drive down or something?
Right.
Yeah.
These are the K's of La Jolla.
Is that bird
Limestone, I think.
poop that makes it white?
I don't
there?
know. It might
I
be.
think that's limestone.
Oh, okay. What are we looking at here? That's Artie?
Yeah.
Who gave him his haircuts? Did he get it at the local barber, or did your mom do that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, probably got it at the local barber.
There was one on the corner
It was up there close to corner Gary.
Yeah.
In Gary.
on Gary. Yeah,
Gary Street, yeah.
I remember one on California Street at the end of the block. I used to go there, but that probably doesn't go back.
Right.
So what we're looking at here is Grandpa Kesecker. So do you remember
At
what
Bear Creek,
Bear Creek where
Mendocino Forest,
in California?
California.
Yeah. And approximate year on this? What did we say this was?
Summertime.
59?
Around 58.
58, 59.
So,
And it set us up. What happened? They lived in Maryland. Or,
right. They used to come out here summertime.
I
He'd
come
get
out,
railroad passes.
Oh, that's right, because he worked on the railroad.
Right.
and they come out to visit us, and we took them up hunting in Mendocino County.
Yeah.
And they were with you how long on that trip?
They
do you
used to
think?
come out for about a month at a
About
time.
a month.
Yeah, and the camping here, they were with you for how long, do you think?
We camped there for about
Not too long.
better than a week.
Yeah.
So did your dad hunt at that point?
He hunted some, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I got him a license.
I don't think he hunted this time. He used to hunt when we went to from Clear Lake,
Whose rifle did he?
Cow Mountain. He hunted Cow Mountain.
I guess we were there maybe 5 days this time.
Yeah.
Whose rifle did he use when he? Did he borrow a rifle or did he bring
Don't
one
know.
out?
I don't.
I bought a rifle for him to use,
Oh, really?
a 25-35.
Huh, scope or non-scope?
What? No scope.
No scope. He was probably used to not hunting
He
with
was
the
used
scope.
used to open sights.
Open sight, yeah. All right, let me start this rolling here. Your dad obviously was not an Olympic swimmer.
No. But he enjoyed the water. Enjoyed getting in.
Yeah,
What is it?
that's me.
That's Ronnie
Yeah,
John.
my cameo appearance here. And you
Good
can see I
swimmer.
have a lot of potential. That's Sharon.
Yeah. And me.
She's quite young, actually, for the age of your father.
That's
Yeah.
me swimming.
The water was really clear here, and there was a deep diving hole. You'll see some of us jumping there, right there. There's a deep hole right there. And then the water, you were saying, used to flow over the road's bed.
You had to drive through it.
rocks.
Just
There's
about
Mom
25 feet
Kesecker,
above that.
Paul's mom,
That's my mother.
Martha
Hey.
Pauline.
Let me pause it here with the two of them in the frame. I don't remember her coming out very often, though, did she?
Every time Dad came out, we don't know. There was a couple times he came out without her.
Without her, I remember.
When we
remember
took
that,
him up,
yeah.
we took him up hunting up at Markleyville. Him and
I think she came out twice.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes.
I think I remember.
And Dad come out about 5 times.
Yeah, let me continue on here then. He's drying his hair off.
21 years difference in their age.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Your mom didn't swim, did she, Dad?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
And my mother had very poor eyesight.
I don't remember. Did she wear glasses?
Sometimes
Huh? Yeah.
later on, she had cataracts on both eyes, which were removed after I left home.
Oh. Who's that limping out of the
I'm
water?
not sure. That mute. How come it's got a mute on there?
And who's that there? Is that you?
That should be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
That's my sexy wife.
There you go. 2 strokes and you're done.
I know.
Not much swimming area there, that's for sure.
No, but that water was welcome.
Yeah. I can remember it being very hot, and the water was just really refreshing.
Yep.
Very clear. Now that's Dad.
Dad and I.
Yeah. Now that was always kind of a tough dive, whoever just did that. Because you had to jump so far to get into make it, past the bottom rocks. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Beautiful place.
It was nice.
And what's funny is that it was on a road. I mean,
Yeah.
and yet it was still like being in the middle of no place. You'd only see, I can only remember like 1 or 2 cars would go by a day.
Yeah, wasn't much.
Not that much at
It
all.
was an offshoot. It wasn't the main road into Lake Pillsbury. You cut off a bit onto Bear Creek Road.
Huh.
I think you went down to Upper Lake on the road to Mendocino.
So I'm probably about 10 years old in this.
I don't think you're quite that old.
Okay. Close. Yeah, we were figuring 58. I was born in 48, so... All right, so we're still watching your dad swim.
Well, that's me.
Must have been fun
Yes.
for him.
Oh yeah, he enjoyed it.
Whatever happened to Sharon?
She's been married 3 times.
Really?
She's living in Cumberland, Maryland right now.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, because I remember she wanted to be a missionary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now we change to
Sea Scouts
Sea Scouts, and
in
we
San
were.
Francisco.
What year do we think this is? There's your mom.
Yep.
You don't know who that guy is?
No, I
Standing
can't
on one
even
foot.
make them out.
Yeah. There's Artie.
Yeah, there's my brother Art.
Yeah.
These are pictures of the kids swinging down to get into the boat.
And Dad, you were the skipper here, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And you got involved in this because Artie was part of the Sea Scouts and
Correct.
they needed someone. You were telling me.
Right. The first picture of a man in the boat there is the original captain.
There's quite a bit of footage here. There's your brother Jack.
Right.
Yeah, he was.
And there's Dad, Paul.
He was a first mate.
And, you know, when I was watching this video, I kept thinking, well, he was still in the military. Now, but that turns out that was his
That's his Sea Scout cap.
Sea Scout cap. That's what that was, Sea Scout cap?
Yeah, he had a regular uniform.
Oh, okay. Okay. And he was what in the military during World War II? He was stationed in Australia.
Right.
And he was part of the gunnery.
He was in the motor pool.
He in the motor pool, but I think according to the book that we have here,
Yeah.
it lists that he was part of the.
I know that he hauled supplies back and forth.
Yeah. No, I know. I agree with what you're saying. That's because he told me that.
Right.
So that looks like Artie, we think, on the top of the
Skipper
mast.
before me was Ed Swinger, and he lived in Daly City.
Huh. And then they're just playing here on the...
Right.
Yeah. Do you know who's in those scenes?
Well, that's you with that on, I think. Yeah. And then Clifford and Billy, the two kids I took care of.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's them. I'll be darned. You can see... You can see the water damage to this film here.
I don't doubt it.
Waiting prohibited.
And those are all converted motor whale boats that the different scouts
Oh, really?
built them into sailing vessels.
Huh? What'd you do for a keel?
Built, made them, and put them on them.
Oh, really?
Bolted them right through the.
And that's Treasure Island out there. I mean, Alcatraz.
You know, I can remember Artie, here you are, wrestling with him here in this scene. But I can remember, all those years he had that boat he was building in the garage across from May's house, across the street on
There's Art
California Street.
and Paul.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah, that's me at the end there. Here's Pop Whiting.
This is down Big Basin.
Yeah, and that's Art Whiting's father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This is what, Mom?
Coming home with one of the kids' mom.
That's the
I
old
think it was
54
Randy,
Ford station wagon.
That's Dad and me coming home from the hospital.
Here's me again.
So that had to be Randy, yeah.
Yeah. Was there any complications on that birth?
I almost died having him.
Really?
My blood pressure kept dropping and dropping.
How long were you in labor?
Probably about 2 days, I guess, something like that.
Wow. Before the C-sections, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bassinet. I can remember that bassinet.
Yeah, well, I had it with all my kids.
Yeah.
I kept it.
But I remember, all the work that went into putting those ribbons in
Yeah,
and
right.
that kind of thing. So we're on California Street, right?
Yeah,
Anybody make that blanket there?
me. That wasn't, that's a little kimono like they wore.
Ah. Yeah. It comes so shriveled up. Too much bath water. Any commentary here on...
No, they're just up there sunning themselves.
I can remember everybody coming over to look in the bassinet.
Oh, yeah.
And people gathering around. And I don't know what we're looking at here. A little bit too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was editing this, I had to make decisions about what to throw out and
Yeah, sure.
what to keep. I don't know why I kept this.
Actually,
But
too
we'll
dark.
get past it in a minute here. Yeah, too dark, but nice shot of his knee.
Yeah.
So. Now that's me holding him. I'm just guessing,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Tickling his lips.
Oh, where did I get my haircuts?
Let's see.
Was that cutting your hair then?
I don't think so. I think that was later.
Later, yeah. I might have done it. I don't know.
Although I do remember going to the barber and, you know, that
remember
like I
your
said, down the
first-
street.
Yeah, I used to take him up to the
I remember the first time you went to the barber.
All right, what do you think this is? There's snow on the ground.
It looks like it's.
That's Mom, my mother. Doing
You know, I never remember her
Dorie.
playing around much.
neither do I.
Yeah.
Evidently, we took a trip, Dorie.
Who is that? Was that? Yeah, okay, there's your
We
mom.
might have taken her on that one of the Highway 49 trips, you know.
Well, this is the redwood trees here.
Yeah. That has to be Big Basin.
I think
Or
so.
no, it might have been that one we took through Yosemite. High up in Yosemite with
Yeah,
the
like
big,
Kings Canyon.
yeah, Kings Canyon.
That looks like King Canyon trees.
Yeah,
okay,
they're
scene
bigger, the
change here.
giganteas.
Yes, exactly. It's a little bit different than a standard redwood. Yeah.
Different sequoias.
Edit this
So
part
that's
out.
Ronnie, Randy,
Smack
and
that kid.
me.
Leave him alone. I was watching this. I was going, get away from him. Leave him alone. Watch you get upset here in a minute.
You were so happy.
Watch this. See that?
Yeah. Oh, there's a snowman you made.
You don't remember much about this trip?
No, we just
Yeah.
took it.
We used to take
my,
trips up into the.
We used to take my dad on that trip about once a year because he was raised all around the gold mines and that.
Now we're back in San Francisco here.
Yeah.
Yeah. On this
And it's
and
Paul, Ronnie, and Randy.
yeah. Keep running into the water.
We lived on 41st Avenue because that's the. The little
Yeah.
lake
Yeah, Boat Lake.
in the park right close there.
Yeah. Exactly. I guess supposedly when the Vietnamese started to migrate, then the ducks disappeared from that.
Yeah.
We used to hear that. I don't know if it was urban myth or whatever, but I heard they had a problem with that. Yeah. Close to going in the water there.
Yeah.
Who's the most active kid that way?
Robert.
Robert?
Yeah, I used to have to be real careful with him around when he'd walk out and go over.
Richard was a handful.
I remember you putting a harness on Robert.
Yeah, because he'd go out in the water and just
Yeah.
go out over his head and didn't
Yeah.
bother him at all.
And there I am. Dad, that looked like you were wearing a Pendleton shirt there.
Yeah, I wore a lot of.
Yeah. There's someone's bottom. Where this is
This is Randy.
that's 41st Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I recognize the view across the. Do you remember when we moved out of there, what year that was? Moved from there to Marin, right?
Right.
Okay, here's baptism.
Baptism of Ronnie
Yeah.
and Randy.
And let's pause it right here.
Okay. And then now
So who's in this frame? We've got Jack,
and
And-
Art
and right in front of Jack is
Ellie. Virginia.
Virginia, and then next to her is what we
Marty.
call Little B, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Art's behind her.
yeah, and Little B is, and we call her Little B because,
I'm kind of ampy.
yeah, right. So you could distinguish them.
Right.
And a nice picture of Artie there,
Yeah, it is good.
and
Yeah. Let's see.
a
Brother
good new
Jack.
suit. I could have been a lawyer.
Wait a second.
Huh?
My brother Jack and Virginia is your godfather and mother.
Right.
And Little B and Artie is Randy's godmother
Yeah.
and father.
Right. You guys buy me a suit for this thing, huh?
Well, I used to get you a suit almost every year.
Really?
On Easter time, it was a throwback. That's what we always did.
Yeah, everybody used to buy new clothes, spring
For
clothes
Easter.
for Easter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh?
I used to usually get you a sailor suit. I don't know what the
Same thing in my
design
family. We'd get new clothes for Easter.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's not true today, though, right?
No, they don't pay any attention to it.
No.
Yeah, Easter's when you get baskets of candy.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So, what church was that?
St.
Yeah.
Monica's in San Francisco.
St. Monica's Catholic Church at 24th and Geary.
Yeah, okay. And I was baptized late blind. There's me. This is more of the church, right?
Right.
Yeah. This looks after the baptism.
Yeah, it is. Look at his hand.
Now, there's Bev.
Yeah.
Beverly Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounded like a scene out of The Godfather, doesn't it? I mean, maybe it's just because I've seen that movie so many times. I remember those plants out front.
Yeah.
Right.
There's Jack.
Yeah.
And what is he talking to Art?
I'm not sure who he's talking
Yeah,
to.
well, that's
It's
probably
still all
Artie.
the christening day.
Yeah. What a big event, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Artie there. There's Easter, and that's Randy.
Yep.
I think he was sneezing, wasn't he?
No, I think he was just trying to get going.
And he didn't walk at this point?
No.
Yeah.
All your kids started walking around in 10 months. You were 8 months.
But then I got sick or something, right? And,
Yeah.
And then didn't walk for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Richard was one who walked early. No, you walked early.
Ronnie walked early.
Yeah, I know he did. Huh?
You know, I think I remember you used to have these lights that you put on the camera.
Right,
It was
a light bar.
it was a light bar, yeah, and it had these two spotlights on
Right.
the end of them.
Mm.
Remember that? Yeah, and that's what we're looking at now, is that
Yeah.
light exposure.
So Randy was born in October, and this is Easter Sunday. Easter time was in April, I think, that year.
All right, what is this? April. It's just
May Day, I guess.
May Day.
Yeah, which now we don't celebrate because it's communist. So
That's Randy.
yeah, Randy, and who's that?
Looks like Jacqueline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jacqueline.
that's Jacqueline.
She would be that young? She was almost my age, wasn't she?
No.
Okay, there's Bev. There's Sis. Is that Sis?
That's Art. That's Jacqueline. Randy behind her.
Where's Ronnie?
No,
Who's that,
that's
Dorie?
Richard.
Joy?
Richard.
Richard?
Yeah, that's Richard.
That's your old hunting cap, isn't it?
Yeah.
A good mother.
So there's Randy. All right?
He's going to help Richard.
Yeah. Well, but would you know he'd end up owning his own company, you know, after she's...
He was lucky for
They're
that
standing.
raise.
Yeah.
He's seen the dog.
Okay, who's the dog? Is that?
I don't remember.
Okay, so that's Randy and Richard.
That was the greatest swimming pool.
Where do you think this is being filmed?
Oh, Hooten Hollow.
Oh, you think this is in
Oh, I know it
the
is,
Santa
yeah.
Cruz? Yeah. Where would this be then? On the? It wasn't on the beach.
Yeah, down on the end of the stairs. There was
Oh,
kind
really?
of a small beach
Huh.
there.
Yeah, the stairs come down around a kind of an abrupt cliff type bank.
And what Hooten Hollow was the place that you owned before the High Ranch.
Well, before Wildwood. King Creek.
If you want to do all those, yeah,
King Creek.
Wildwood, King Creek, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it was down towards Santa Cruz.
There's your mom.
That's a nice picture of her.
This is the third disc of 3 discs of a family archive from old film tape that was moved to VHS, and then from VHS I ported it, I being Ron Kesecker, ported it over to DVD. And some of the things have been out of sequence, so we'll kind of sort that out, time-wise, the timeline of everything. And the commentary is being done by my mother, Doris May Kesecker, and my father, Paul Stanley Kesecker. So we'll start off this tape here. This is actually filmed at Clear Lake, and we figure that the time period was probably 1964, right around there, 64, 63. And I'm going to freeze this frame here where we're playing. Was there a name for this game?
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken? That's right. Yeah, chicken. And my cousin,
John.
Johnny, yeah, we called him Johnny, was came up and stayed with us here at Clear Lake. And Clear Lake is what? How many miles north of San Francisco?
It took us about an hour and a half
to get there
from Greenbrae,
where we lived at the time.
Where we lived at the time.
Yeah.
And Dorie and you kids would go up here almost every summer.
And spend...
It's been a couple
month.
A month at least.
Yeah, it was really kind of nice. And we camped on the beach.
Right
on the lake. And we had at one time we had a trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was in the town of Lakeport.
That's right, Lakeport. And we had a boat.
Yeah.
Boat come in later, yes.
Yeah. But I remember we had a boat, and we would just ski early in the morning, and when the water was calm.
The boat had fins on it. I bought it at... It came out of the San Francisco boat and the sport.
Oh, really?
Fair,
At the Cow Palace?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was a Texas something. And it was aluminum boat.
Yeah, remember
it
that?
wasn't Texas.
Yeah, remember what kind of motor it had? Was it like an Evinrude or something like that? Yeah.
I don't remember the motor.
Yeah, I remember Evinrude was kind of popular in those days. So anyway, I can remember this summer when my cousin came up, Johnny came up, and we...
Yeah.
Because we palled around for the summer, and Lakeport's a pretty dead town for, for teenagers, But anyway, it was a lot of fun. And I remember one time we went out skiing. We bought all these clothes, the women's clothes.
I bought all the women's clothes from the Goodwill there.
Yeah. And we got really good at, we could snap start from the beach without getting wet on the single skis.
Not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. And then we would ski around with these,
dresses on, waving at some.
Yeah, with dresses and hats that we had gotten from the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
So you look like 2 old ladies.
Yeah. So we'd wave to everybody,
A lot of fun.
Young teenage stuff. But here we are playing. So to set this up, let's see. That's Randy, and then Johnny is now on the right side.
Yeah. Johnny was my nephew. My brother Jack's boy. So it's you and Randy and...
Now there's Dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Randy right in front of him. Okay, so that's Johnny on my shoulders, I think.
Yeah. And down, I don't know who was holding you.
Well, Johnny and I were a team. Yeah, we would. Against Randy and Dad. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, that's Johnny there slapping the water. He used to do that stuff. Yeah, that's me on the bottom holding him up. It's a great place. The lake is how many miles around? It's like 70 some odd miles around the
Yeah.
perimeter, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once again, really hot weather. Oh, wait a minute. Let me pause it right there. Who is that? Is that,
On the bottom?
no, on the right side of the screen, is that
Richard?
Richard?
It could be Richard.
It could be Richard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like Richard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Richard.
Who's he on the back of that?
You maybe. That's Randy and Dan.
Okay.
Now here's Robert.
That's Robert on a chain.
Yeah.
Do you recognize the lady in the water there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this is in Greenbrae.
Yeah.
Yeah, painting this at the wall. Okay, now this is the rock counts. You guys belong to a rock hunting club.
Right.
Right.
And these are some of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there, let me pause it right
it's
there.
Wes Dagley.
That's Wes Dagley, who in this frame is kind of obscured, but I wanted to catch that was
Can't
empty.
be there.
With the blue tank top on.
Yeah, and the glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And the white hair.
Yeah, and the white hair. Let's
Mm-hmm.
continue on. So that was just a quick shot. I was actually going to edit this out because we don't know any of these people anymore. They weren't family until I realized that was Aunt B.
Rock hunting.
Yeah.
There's
Richard.
Richard. What are you doing, chewing on something? Oh, there. Yeah. Good for you. Push that lady away. There you are buying wine, jug wine, and came in a 1 gallon or something like that. There's your Wagoneer. Didn't Jack have one? He used to say, go into the gas station and say, check the gas and fill up the oil. And there's Tarzan.
That's Randy and Richard.
Yeah, for many years. There's a Volkswagen in the back in case.
Tarzan was a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Yeah. A good dog. Good family dog. Had him for quite a while. Look, had his tail docked there.
Yeah.
Is that Robert?
Robert, yeah.
So who's this? Is this Richard?
Richard.
And we used to have a court at the end of, a dead-end street that we lived on. It was hilly, so it was a little bit hard to do what he's doing there because you had to.
Yeah, that was in Greenbrae.
Yeah. And so, you really couldn't get too good at biking because you couldn't go far. All right, now we're back to Clear Lake again.
Right.
And we did a lot of skiing, and we had those red skis that you see in that scene. They were kind of use it when the water got choppy like it is in this scene here. And is that our boat there?
Looks like.
Yeah. There's Randy, I think.
Me.
That's Dad trying to ski. He never could get up. Yeah, he'd give on. He was so sore the next day running he could hardly walk.
All right, so there's
That's Dad Richard and Dan.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love that where you'd throw them.
Yeah.
You'd throw them as far as you could. They loved that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert.
There's Robert. I must have been sitting right there because I never went far from him without a chain on. Or if you didn't have a chain on.
I remember I used to get a lot of flack for doing that from people.
These 2 old ladies went by and said, "Oh, you're acting like a dog." And I said, "Well, you want to see what happens?" And I took the chain off him. Robert just go walking right out the water, and he's walking.
There's our boat there. There's me.
Till the water was over his head.
No, that's not our boat.
That wasn't ours?
No.
Mm-hmm. These are actually the scenes of Dad trying to get up here.
He never did make it.
I think we rented that boat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did rent one time.
Yeah, the film doesn't do it justice because it's such a beautiful, looking out across the water to the far side. It's just usually the skies are real clear. What you're seeing here is really just the film. There's me.
There you are doing something.
Yeah, sure. And there's a scene of how people used to camp on the beach in
Right.
the background there. They would just bring their trailers up and put
Right.
towels and sheets up to create barriers. Was that
That's
Louise?
Louise.
That's
Louise,
Louise.
yeah.
Yeah, she was actually in one of the earlier scenes, and I was going, "Who
She
is
could,
that?"
yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you go there, that's like the last time I was there, it was like wall to wall. It was
What campers you mean?
yeah, with
Yeah.
campers and that kind of thing.
Just loaded.
Yeah. This is they had a like a riverboat, a small little
Take a cruise.
yeah, take a cruise around the lake kind of thing. Now I think this is
that little small pool that's
that
up
they
there.
had there,
Little kids' pool,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, right near the library, or just
Right.
just down from the library. Really great looking
That's
library
Robert.
with his harness on. Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Some things never change. There you go. All right, here's the. How many people were we trying to get
12.
up? 12 people?
12 people were trying to get up on this
Now, if
guy's
everybody
boat.
was good, we probably could have done this, but
Yeah, but there was a couple in here that just kept falling.
yeah, we should have just eliminated them. You're out. Because a snap start, you're already on top of the water.
Yeah.
But
There's people way down at the other end.
yeah.
Just couldn't make it.
It's funny how good you could get at this kind of stuff.
Good weather there, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And as time went on, though, they started to have this algae problem. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah, it just got really bad. It was like soup by August. There's Robert again.
With his harness. He's trying to water ski. See? You better believe I was right there with him.
Yeah, yeah. Was that your hat?
No, probably was Dad's. There's something the kids found. I don't know.
All right, so here's another boat.
That's not it either. Because our first boat had fins on it.
Yeah, this must be a rental boat, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of them I rented.
Yeah.
Randy waving.
I remember one time we went up there and you had been working and everything. You came up on the weekend and we blew the engine. Do you remember this? We blew the engine on our boat and that kind of thing. You were trying to get it, you tried to get it fixed. And I always felt real bad, because, here was your time off and you had to deal with this,
We had to go way around the lake to get it.
Well, I enjoyed seeing all of you have a good time.
Yeah, yeah. But I do remember
that's what
that,
I worked for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was great that we had this opportunity. This would later lead to the high ranch, having your own property and that kind of thing, because the high ranch was right near Clear Lake. How many?
It used to take me half hour to get from our ranch down to the lake.
Yeah. Now, where do you think this is? And we just shifted scenes here. I don't recognize this.
We had one of those swings on ours, but
a lot of people had this. Unless the camera pulls back.
Jesus, look at that. It's one of they didn't fall off and break their neck.
Doesn't he look like Herschel in many ways?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Herschel looked just like
when
he was younger.
I don't know what this is. This is for the psychedelic
Yeah.
time. It must be 1960. It gets real dark here, and we had a hard time sorting out what was happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure why I just didn't edit this out.
Well, it's me with bathing cap on.
There we go.
And then we're in this.
Now this is back, I think, to Lakeport again, isn't it?
Yeah.
There used to be this little kids pool there. It was like 1 foot deep or something, 2 feet deep, and it had a fountain in the middle, didn't it? With spray out water.
No.
I don't remember any of it.
Now this is a deeper pool, so we were trying to figure out.
Well, it went to good depth, but it maybe like 2 feet or something like that.
Well, wasn't there a deeper pool next to the?
Now, you went and dove off of that
Oh,
diving board,
no, I don't know where the hell that.
Ron.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was,
No.
there I am there. No. But I don't. This
I don't remember.
Now we thought maybe
Seems
this
to
was
me it might be that reunion.
that this might have been the reunion back in West
Yeah.
Virginia, but that would have been 1961. So I don't know. Wasn't Richard a baby in 61?
There's Olivet, my
He was-
sister, so it's got to be back there.
Okay, so this is
Right.
reunion footage then.
It
Okay,
is.
so this
Richard
is
was 24
1961.
months old
Yeah,
when he came back.
that's 1961 footage.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Robert wasn't born yet.
Too bad all of it's so dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine if you had fancy editing equipment, you could
Probably.
lighten it or something. I don't
But there,
know.
there was a lot of.
So
That's
anybody
That's
remember where
Richard. That's Richard and
It looks
Dorie.
like Richard, yeah.
Now you flew out. We drove out. Randy, Mom, and I drove out, but you flew out with
Flew
Richard.
back with Richard.
And was that? Were you on a jet that time?
No, I don't think they had jets at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
We flew into Chicago to Pittsburgh, and then they picked me up at Pittsburgh and drove me into the
Yeah,
home
but this is all
there in
the-
Kaiser, West Virginia.
And then you drove home with us, right?
Right.
Right.
Cross country.
But he broke his ankle back there
That's
playing
right.
Foot,
Playing
ball.
baseball. Yeah.
My arch
Yeah, well, broke your arch.
and my eye.
But it was your arch that you couldn't drive. That's why I had to drive.
I can remember your dad doing those long graces before meal. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and they would go on. In terms of how long it went, but because he really did go on the day of the reunion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That went on a long
Yeah,
time.
it did.
Yeah.
He want to talk his way in.
All right, here scene change.
That was in
and
Novato.
this is in at. I'm going to stop it here in a second. This is actually probably me running the 2 mile. And I was probably a sophomore. I'm going to freeze it right here, coming down the home straight.
That was
Yes.
at Redwood High.
Redwood High, dirt track, and what I
Ronnie
find,
had a red
yeah, I'm in the middle of the frame here.
tank top on there.
And that behind me is Bob Bunnell, who would later go on to be the top 2 miler in the county.
Yeah.
Right.
And so this is I'll point him out, but Bruce, I can't think of his last name. He would be the school record holder. He's in the lead in this race.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure this is my sophomore track season, which would be 65. Yeah, 60. Let's see, 84, 65. So this is 1965. And this is about the only footage I think that I have of me running, actually, in high school.
You always look good running.
Yeah. See, being a coach, I pick apart this form and say, okay, you're overstriding here, guy, and you're leaning forward. Let's get you to stand up. But Bob Bunnell later would go on. He's right behind me in this frame. He would go on to be an ultra marathon runner.
Really?
Now, in this frame, that's Greg Sullivan, the guy that just passed with the glasses on. There's
Right.
me again.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Sullivan went to University of Oregon, and he was kind of like my that's Boots Ferguson right behind him in this frame. And Boots Ferguson's now a lawyer in Colorado. He became pretty famous as a corporate lawyer. Yeah, I went and looked it up on the internet. I Googled him the other night when I was editing this stuff. But I would eventually get the school record, and in my junior year. And
Well, what was that when you broke the record? They had it sitting up there for a long time, for years.
oh, it was in a steeplechase. That's kind of like one of those trick things. Let me stop it here. Because I ran the steeplechase at El Cerrito Relays, which was like the biggest track meet in Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do well in the race, but I did well enough to set the school record. And it was at an odd distance. It was at a mile in length, and they don't run the steeplechase at a mile in length. And so all these studs that came back, in years after me,
Mm-hmm.
could never get the record. They were breaking the school record for the 2 mile and all
Yeah.
that. They never could get that record because they didn't run that distance
Oh.
anymore. Steeplechase is typically 3,000 meters or 1.9 miles, that kind of thing. And so it's kind of funny because I met some of these guys that came later that were really good. I mean, these were kids that Rod Berry, who was one of the better runners actually in the country in high school, and he was running 850 something for 2 mile, which is like national class. But they could never touch my record, and they complain about it, when I meet them. So. And one last story is actually there was kind of a dynasty for Redwood High School of distance runners, and it pretty much started with me and the guys that I ran with. Bruce would go to another school; he was only there for his sophomore year, and then Greg Sullivan and I continued on. But usually I was better than Greg, and he only beat me once or something like. I actually don't think he ever beat me in a head-to-head race. But it was always funny, meeting these guys years later because I would, see them at cross country races and stuff like that when I became a coach later on. Well, anyway, that's the end of the tape. So thank you.
Oh, okay.
We're done.